So Big Dom is a babysitter now? Come on, y'all. We got to be better than this. I'm sure y'all have heard the stories by now. The report coming out. This was on Derek Gunn's Twitter feed. According to sources, Jalen's big contract pulled him in numerous directions on and off the field. Put him under a lot of pressure he didn't handle well. Big Dom suspended controls Sirianni's emotions on sidelines. In his absence, Nick gets in numerous arguments with players, coaches during games. Okay, I'm not sure I believe that. Not doubting that someone told him the information, but the second part about it, Dom with controlling the emotions, that everybody's going into this babysitter thing and he doesn't deserve to be a coach. There's already people. I saw Big Sills was talking about it. That same guy that came up with the report about he knew information that would have split the locker room apart. I forget what the guy's name is. He's already been on it. At the end of the day, man, it's like, listen, if that's what works for him, having somebody on the side that can, kind of pull on him and say, hey, get back. To me, that ain't no damn different than when you see those coaches on the sidelines that supposed to know everything but can't figure out how to get themselves behind the line so they don't get a penalty. So you know what? You got somebody there to pull them back or different things like that. That's just another variation of that. To me, that's not a big deal. That somebody can kind of tug you on the jacket and say, listen, you got other things to worry about. Get back over here. Because there are coaches that get hyper-focused like that. That's why you got so many coaches that are coordinators that don't do a good job when they become head coaches. Because when you are a coordinator, you got one thing to worry about. You got your guys, your offense, your scheme, whatever the situation is. That's what your job is. When you're a head coach, again, you're the CEO. You got to worry about everybody. Penalties, overtime, throwing a challenge, all of that kind of stuff. And then you got 8 million things going on in your ear at the same time. So it's a different look when you're the main guy as opposed to just being a coordinator in one spot with one job. So if you need somebody on your side that can help pull your coattails and get you refocused, I'm all for it. Function like that all the time. Just to give you context, I worked for Apple 13 years, right? I was in the Apple store doing all of that. I can't tell you how many times CEOs and executives, guys that came in where their name was the company. John Smith Incorporated, John Smith Franchises, John Smith Holdings, different things like that. The guy that walked through the door was the guy that owned the company. Comes in, get an iPhone or whatever, and he doesn't know his information, his password, none of that. You know why? Because he delegated all of that to his secretary. So the secretary had all the information. He couldn't get access to her, so we couldn't get him the phone that he wanted or help him out, whatever the situation was. And it was amazing to see how many people would get so pissed off because we couldn't give them or help them with something that may have required private information, and you can't give us any of the proof that we need because your secretary has it, your assistant has it, and you as the head have no idea how to operate. There's still people that operate in tech every day, managerial, executive, whatever high level you want to look at, that can't even send the email correctly. If you need somebody to keep you in line, so be it. There's a lot of people out there right now that need somebody. There's somebody in their family that helps keep them in check. Brother, wife, cousin, uncle, whoever. Somebody that can keep you from putting your foot in your mouth, because if they weren't there, you probably got times where they weren't there and you got yourself in trouble because you didn't have that person there to pull you back. No different. No different. And how many times have we seen in the NFL when a coach gets that elevation, finally gets the jump to the head coaching job, and it doesn't work out well because they've been an assistant for so long and the focus is different. So if you need somebody to help you out, so be it. There's nothing wrong with that in my book. You're going to get the people looking for whatever reason. When it's in Philly, everybody jumps on it because they want to bring the hate to Philly. Now, this is the same coach that Big Dom was doing the same thing that got us to the Super Bowl. Same coach. You got to decide what you want to be mad at. Some of the criticism is valid for the meltdown towards the end of the year, everything that comes with that. But guess what? Now he's here. He's made some changes. And here's the funny thing. What happens when we go back to the playoffs? We get back to where we were last year in 2022. What happens when we take that form, but now he's a CEO coach? What's going to be the next criticism you have? Because now is it going to be, you only did that because Kellen Moore was there or Vic Fangio was there? There's always going to be something. There's always going to be a element, fandom, of criticism, of social media scrutiny, where it's never enough. And it'll be something else to bitch, moan, and complain about. So at the end of the day, I don't care how he does it. I don't care if he gets a nanny, a au pair, or whatever he needs to get the job done effectively. That's the problem with the social media and everything now. And I'm saying this as a content creator, but I'm also saying this as a former player, and the things that I've seen in my experience. Stuff like that happens every week on every team. The only difference now is the people on the outside looking in can see it, and they don't know how to handle it. We've seen it before, and it's nothing new. Let that man do what he got to do, because he knows his job is on the line. And I say, if they're going to get you, go out your way. And if that's what you need to be a successful coach, so be it.